How do you actually pay yourself a six-figure salary, increase profitability in your business, and grow your confidence as a money manager? This is something that obviously I talk about all of the time. And today I wanted to show you my signature method, the Prosper and Profit method, and how this is the process that we work through to deliver all of those things to you if you are working with me one-on-one as a client. So if we haven't met yet, hello, my name is Laura O'Hagan. I'm a profit and growth consultant. And in my work, I help business owners to pay themselves a six-figure salary, to increase profitability in their business, and to grow their confidence as a money manager in the business. So what I wanted to show you is because I know you are busy in your professional services, your agency, your firm, your spa, your salon, your clinic, wherever it is that you work and deliver services to your clients. I know you're busy, right? That's one of the stress points in your business is you're busy, you're short on time, you're wondering, how can I get more time back? How can I get more financial reward out of this business? How can I optimize things and have it, be the ultimate business I envisioned it being? That's where I come in and that's where I help. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to talk you through this in case you are thinking of hopping on a call, you're considering working together, but you want to understand more about how I actually work with my clients. This is the video for you. So on screen here, I'm sharing my screen. You can see the Prosper and Profit method. Now, this is the method that I take all of my clients through in a 4-month coaching process together. Now, you can do 1 month of work together, which is much more of a consulting process, and I'll talk through what that looks like. This is ultimately the process that we go through over 4 months together to move you to achieving all of those things that I spoke about right up the top. So the place we start here is visioneering your ultimate business and lifestyle. And this is so important. This is like the kickoff session that we kick off our very first, session together here, because it's so important that we're clear on your goals, the vision you have for your business, and the lifestyle, right? Because these look different for different people. I've had clients who want to reduce their hours in the salon and have, be spending more time running the business and having their staff kind of be the workers in the business, and freeing up time. I've had clients who want to scale their online business. I've had clients who are really happy with the amount that they're working, but they want to increase, what the business is bringing in and what it's rewarding them. So this is really important because everyone's got different goals, different visions, different things. And we break this down into, short-term, medium-term goals and that ultimate vision that you have for your business. Now, many people hear me talking a lot of the time about profitability and that being a focus rather than sales, and they think that that means I'm anti-business growth, and that is not the case at all. I am very pro business growth and achieving your vision. So if your vision is $1 million, law firm, $1 million physio practice, $1 million salon, $1 million agency, right, and you're not at that $1 million, I'm not here to talk you out of that at all. But what I want to make sure is that every step of the way, you're getting financially rewarded as you grow the business, and that we're not waiting to hit that point where you eventually get to that goal and then think the reward's going to come through. We want you to be growing and scaling the efficiencies in your business. And this work is all about getting those efficiencies in place, paying yourself now, making sure the business is as profitable as possible now and is running as efficiently and optimized as possible. And then we grow that, right? Because there's no point growing an inefficient business that just means you're working harder, you're working more, and you're not getting that ultimate lifestyle that was part of the business vision. So as I said, that's where we start here. Like I said, some of my clients, there's all kinds of different goals that come up: paying for a pool, right? New cars, maternity leave from the business. How do we kind of get that to work, right? These are all of the things we're taking into consideration around your personal and business goals and how we want to engineer your business to create that ultimate vision. And that's why I call it visioneering. Engineering your ultimate business and having that what we want to be achieving in the next 6, 12, and 18 months, as well as that longer term vision. So we're setting the business up with our recommendations and the things that we're working on to get those things coming back to you. So that's our starting point. And that's just so important because everyone has different visions, everyone has different lifestyles, everyone has different businesses, and everyone has different reasons why they went into business. So it's really important that we get that clear. And then that informs all of the work that we go on to do together. So that's step one. If you work with me for 1 month or you work with me for 4 months, we do that either way. That's our very first kickoff session. Then we move into this piece, which is the clarity and confident cash flow process. Now, financial clarity is key. I had a sales call earlier in the week with a business owner who is running a 7-figure business. And she realized that she just wanted clarity. She needed clarity on what's currently happening in the business. And, pretty much that. What's actually happening? Where is the money going? How is it all working? Are we optimized? Are we efficient? And then how do we kind of put in some pieces to achieve that vision? So getting really clear on where your business is currently, what's the current financial performance, and getting a really clear picture of that. And looking at the ultimate, benchmarks of where your business could be is what we're doing in the first phase of this part of the process. So that's work that I do for you. This is not done, I guess, I go and tell you what to do. And it's not that traditional coaching method. This is actually a consulting process where I go and analyze your business and, use the data. I'll ask you to provide that to me. Use the data that you provide in your business from your profit and loss, your balance sheet, director's loans, owner's drawings, all of the things. I give you really clear instructions on what I need and guide you through that process. But then I actually take that away and do a bunch of work on your behalf, a bunch of analysis on your business, and then come back and deliver that as a report to you that outlines, gives you that picture. So that's where the clarity comes in. We get a crystal clear picture of what is currently happening in your business, right? Where the money's going, why potentially you can't pay yourself that 6-figure salary, why profit isn't as high as we might want it to be, why you're working so many hours. A lot of these things can drop out. I had another client who was a freelancer and had opened up her own bricks and mortar location, and she just couldn't understand what exactly was happening because her profit hadn't grown as she'd opened the new location. And what I could do is I analyzed each of the lines of business separately, which was something she just wasn't able to do, to answer that question of, is the bricks and mortar location profitable? Right. And I could do analysis across the two. So it's analysis that starts to answer that question. What's currently going on in the business, right? We need to know where we are right now and what's happening right now to be able to move us to where we want to get to. So that comes through in the clarity piece. And then we benchmark your business in terms of, here's where ultimately your business could get to. We look at utilizing benchmarks from the Profit First methodology, financially, really strong, financially healthy businesses based on your business size. So we've got these really great benchmarks. And so we start to see the gaps, right? Okay, it makes sense. I can see we're not optimized here. We're not optimized there. Or we're going too hard there. Or, we're not optimized in profitability and we're underspending in the business. We're underinvesting, and that's why we can't grow. All of these questions can get answered from this analysis. And the beautiful thing of having that current state and that future desired state is we can create a plan to move you from one to the other. This is how we start, seeing how you're going to pay yourself that 6-figure salary, how we're going to increase profitability in your business, how we're going to reduce your hours, or how you're going to fund, an expansion in your business, or your next marketing plan, all of those things. And then we, in that report that I delivered to you, it gives you that current state, as I said, future state, and I create a series of tailored to you recommendations to move you from one state to the other. So what are all the recommendations? What are all the business improvements that need to be worked on to move you from current to future state? That's all delivered to you. And I spend an entire session walking you through the report, giving you that really clear understanding, taking you through the recommendations, taking you through how we're going to start the cash flow process, the cash flow management process in your business. And so my clients who are definitely not accountants, they're technical experts, they're amazing business owners out there in the things that they do. And I've had feedback that report and the way I deliver it just makes it so easy to understand, that they really understand what's happening in their business and they get that clarity. So that happens there. And then in the final stage of that first month working together is we implement the cash flow process. And I walk you through what this looks like. That is the profit first methodology with bank accounts and, having a really simple process and a rhythm for managing your cash flow. I teach you how to do that. We do the first set together and make that really, really easy. So by the end of the first month, you are crystal clear on your ultimate vision for your business and your goals. You are crystal clear on what is happening in your business financially, so that current state of financial performance, and contrast that with the benchmarks, the ideal state that we want your business to move to. And you've got a series of recommendations to move you from point A to point B. And we've implemented your simple cash flow management process. So if you want to do just 1 month together, some people like to do the 1 month, see what it reveals, because until I do that work and look at that recommendations and do that analysis, we don't know what's going to come out of it. So some people like to do that as a 1 month bespoke piece of work and then decide whether we want to do the implementation of the business process improvements together. Right. So step 1 and step 2 here are done within the first month together, and that can be carved off as a single project, or otherwise it's month 1 of our 4 months working together. Then we start to move into this phase here, creating more financial reward. This is where we start working on all of the recommendations that came out of the report that are your business process improvements. So we will prioritize these. Sometimes there is more than we can work on in 3 months. Together, we will collaborate and decide which ones we're going to focus on, where you're going to get the biggest bang for your buck. And we will agree which business process improvements we're going to work on to create more financial reward. So this is where we're increasing profitability, increasing efficiency in the business, and moving towards those ultimate targets, that benchmark that we want to achieve. So this varies from business to business, but people think that getting more profit is just about stripping out costs, and that is not the case. Yes, sometimes there is inefficient spending, but we want to create efficiencies all across your business. So it is not about stripping out as much cost as possible and running as leanly as possible. It's finding that sweet spot that is efficient, right, with expenses. So for some, I've had some clients that are underspending and it's creating stress in the business, and we redeploy more funds into OpEx. Some clients are obviously overspending, and we look at that too, but that is just one of the things. So with all of my clients, we will do an expense analysis. So that definitely sits in the creating more financial reward. Other projects that I'm commonly working on with clients are understanding like the hourly cost rate of the business. Every hour that you are open, how much does it cost? Right. From there, we start to look at then time standards and costs of services, right? All of those things, because there can be leakages there. So look at pricing and time standards. We often look at how the owner, the director, the founder, you as the owner of the business are spending time, and how your team is spending time. Doing a review there and looking at, is this the most efficient way of doing things? Do we need to delegate? Do we need more team? Do we need less team? Right? All of those things. Is the business owner doing a whole bunch of administration activities that might be able to be outsourced at $40 an hour, that's forgoing them working with more clients, delivering more services, managing their team? That's a much more high value task. So we look at that. Again, not for everyone. It depends on what was shown in your business. But so we look at the key drivers. Where can we create more efficiencies and more revenue, more profitability through top line? And where can we do that through expenses? And where can we do that through efficiencies? So we look at all of that. So that's another key area. time, team, pricing, service review too. So once we look at those time standards, reviewing services and offer suite and looking at, what's the mix of those? Are we offering services that aren't profitable? Do we need to change the pricing on those when we look at the time standards? As an example, I had a client who was quoting projects based on the hours of delivery, but not necessarily the hours of preparation that went into that. And so there was all this work that was actually not being charged for that was required to deliver services to the client. So we looked at that and realized there was a huge leakage in revenue and time because of that. So this is very variable, and this is where I bring my unique experience. So some of you may know I'm an accountant by background, but also I've been a management consultant and looked at, creating business efficiencies for businesses from $1 billion and multi-million-dollar businesses all the way through to small to medium enterprises like what many of us are running. And I bring all of that knowledge of how do we drive performance, because the numbers and the picture of financial health tells us a story of how to drive performance improvements in the business. So that is what we are doing here. That is where we're moving the needle and starting to achieve your visions, your goals, and more financial reward from your business and more efficiency. So I see being more profitable as being efficient. It's not about cutting out as much cost as possible, but it is about what's that balance where we're not wasting money, but we're not cutting expenses out that, deliver on our services to our clients. So it's not about that. People get worried that I'm just going to come in and tell them to cut a whole bunch of costs. That's just one of the many levers that we can pull to improve the business performance in your business. And like I said, until we have that picture of what's currently happening and mapping that across to that desired state, I can't tell you exactly what they're going to be in your business, but I've given you a bunch of examples. Other ones are debt reduction plans too, for businesses that have used debt to fund expansions, locations, fit outs, all of those types of things. Perhaps just been funding operational expenses on an overdraft or credit card that hasn't been able to now be paid back. All of those things can be looked at in this creating more financial reward. We're starting to put plans in place for all of those different pieces. So then we look to more at this proactive profitability. So this is where we're looking at business growth strategy and how do we start to really then move the business to where you want it to be, that ultimate vision. So this may be looking at things like investments back into the business for expansion, right? But what we want to make sure is we're scaling the efficiencies in the business. We're growing the business as it is efficient. We do not want to grow an inefficient business, because what does that mean? It means you're operating inefficiently in terms of time, team, money, right? Profit coming out. If we scale the inefficiencies, a lot of people think, well, if I just grow the revenue, eventually I'll get profit coming out the bottom, right? What we know is actually all of the inefficiencies are scaled and the problems are actually just magnified and larger. So we want to get the efficiencies in place, have you paying yourself that 6-figure salary now, knowing that you're hitting benchmarks, so you've got the plan to move towards benchmarks and your business is optimized. And then we look at, cool, how do we strategically grow the business now to achieve your ultimate vision proactively, but with profitability front and center? So this can totally be things like growth plans, franchising. There's all kinds of different things that can come out of this, but it's where we start to move from, okay, we've optimized, we've found the efficiencies, and we've started to work on those. Now we're going to start to execute on business strategy around that ultimate vision and what that means for you. For some people, that isn't about growth, but that is about scaling back their hours. How does the team, how does the business start to replace me in the service delivery, right? For some people, it's, scaling offers and moving to group models or group classes or group training programs, whatever that looks like. That's where we start to look at, how do we grow this business to the ultimate vision that you want, but knowing that we've got profit built in every step of the way. So I just wanted to give you that overview, because I've had this this conversation multiple times with multiple people, explaining to them how this works. And so I wanted to have a resource I could point you to so that you can go through this in your own time and have a look at this. So if you watch this and you've got questions, please do not hesitate to either get in touch. You can send me an email, hello@laurajohagan.com, or you can just schedule a discovery call together and we can dive in and explore how we're going to tailor this to you and your unique business. But yes, I hope this gives you a great starting point to understand how I work with my clients, what it's all about, how we actually start to move through all of these pieces and achieve these results that you want in your business, and given you an idea of kind of what would likely be working on. So as I said, stage 1 and stage 2 are very common across all businesses. We do that process for everyone who comes in, because we need your goals. We need to understand the current state. We need to understand how that looks towards benchmarks. What is the recommendations to move you from A to B, and implementing that simple cash flow management process so that you are really confident and comfortably managing the week-to-week finances in the business. Then as we get to creating more financial reward and proactive profitability, this really varies depending on what that first process has shown, right? What has come out of that in your business. So again, hope that helps. I hope that helps you understand that there is a very clear process and framework that we move through. There is a lot of experience and expertise and proven processes that are built into this. And this is all grounded in very much business strategy and cash flow management and performance improvement in the business. It's not some sort of out there magical thing. It's a very methodical process that we're working through. And like I said, I call myself a consultant because this first phase is me doing work and delivering that back to you so that you've got that understanding. And then we move more into a business coaching dynamic as we move through stage 3 and 4. So I hope that helps. What I'll do is I'm going to pop a link to a discovery call along with this video. If you've been watching this because you're interested in working together, you know you want to pay yourself a 6-figure salary, you want your business to be more efficient, you want to be able to manage those cash flows confidently, then do book a call. There is never any pressure. There is never any obligation. I don't believe in hard sells. It has to be a yes from both of us to be a really effective and fruitful relationship. So it's just an exploratory call to talk about what's happening in your business, how I may be able to help you, and what this could look like. Just a conversation. People have always said to me, it just feels like a conversation. And so I really invite you to do that, and let's chat about what this looks like for you. So until then, I'll love you and leave you. Have an amazing day. I hope this has helped provide clarity to you, and I hope to really talk to you soon.